But I just remember how bare it was and how just empty all of a sudden things were.
You know, I looked around, I had no customers, nothing in 20,000 square feet.
Big events are canceling, conventions were canceling. We didn't know where our careers were going. We didn't know where our industry was going. There was so much unknown.
Both COVID meets, now the world waking up to institutional racism.
I was sad and mad. People wanted to be heard.
This industry is my life.
School announcing they were closing down. We were going home to work from home for a little bit, and I was 4 months pregnant. How are we going to do all of this?
Being a mother to a Black son, it is crippling, that fear.
I lost my best friend, who was my sister, and she was my mentor. And I just wanted to stop. I wanted to just quit everything.
Travel and tourism was probably ultimately the hardest hit industry from the global pandemic.
We had a lot of challenges that we had to face. We had employees who didn't know if they wanted to be around people. We had guests who didn't know whether it was safe to be in a hotel.
All of the things that were just canceling and closing.
We've got all these people. Are we gonna have to lay them off? Are we gonna have a job for them? Or are we gonna have the business in a couple months?
Their life savings is tied up in what they do every day, and to have to turn their operations on their head and add this level of new equipment to make sure their places of business are spotless.
Each person was trying to do the job for 3 other people in the midst of a pandemic with all kinds of chaos in their community.
We got creative as much as we could, but the hard part was that nothing solved the real problem. The real problem was that the pandemic was out there. Travel was not going to come back anytime soon.
At the end of the day, what you figured is there was no right answer. No right answer. You had to do what you felt was right for your situation, and we were all in it together.
We can't do this without each other. We knew that we weren't going to solve this problem, but we could work collaboratively and together with everyone in this industry. We all really needed to do our part.
We align with the hotels, we align with the convention center.
Created some interesting partnerships to just make sure that we're all working as one unit for the city.
We were able to reschedule over 100 groups to future years for Cleveland, representing 123,000 room nights and $74 million in economic value.
After the civil unrest, 50-plus organizations made a pledge, and it's called the Cleveland Pledge.
We needed to have a complete shift as an organization. How do we do better and look through a racial equity lens at every aspect of our organization? We've spent the better part of a year developing a roadmap.
Launched the Voices of Cleve Public Art Project, provide artists of color an opportunity to use their art and their medium as a way to express what they were feeling.
This is about, so 5 and 10 years down the road, we can try to affect the root cause of some of these issues of why our industry isn't better represented in minority communities.
Caribou had already made a decision how to respond to the murder of George Floyd, that we were going to produce a piece called Freedom on Juneteenth. And we were going to use the arts as that vehicle to celebrate the African American experience and activate our audiences in ways that would create change.
We were all working very hard throughout the pandemic to do things differently.
It was a collaborative process, and we created this standard set of cleanliness practices.
Ultimately, over 1,000 businesses that committed and said they would follow those practices. We sourced, we funded, and distributed over 200,000 of these kits,
which included a paper mask, included hand sanitizer packets, and then it also included tips for how you as a consumer can be out and patronize businesses.
We wanted to put the safety of our employees and our guests first.
The perfect time where you really couldn't go buy the things that you really needed.
Doing the Clean Committed program was something that we wanted to do to kind of help the industry get back on their feet as much as we could. Rediscover was then our turn toward the locals, highlighting neighborhoods, highlighting outdoor attractions, highlighting just the development that had been occurring throughout the city. That gave us an opportunity to really focus on the restaurants who we knew were really going to have a tough time. People didn't want to be inside. Outdoor dining was the thing, which is what Roam the Land became.
16 weeks, we supported a neighborhood within the city of Cleveland.
Bulk buying outdoor dining stuff, tents, tables, chairs, lights. It was a package of about $6,000 a piece to be back out in the community in a space that was safer than being inside and able to engage with the public in a way that they hadn't in the better part of a year.
CARES Fund, the stabilization grants, were also another great opportunity. We had terrific conversations with Cuyahoga County, created a program to distribute $10,000 grants to restaurants in need all over the county. All of the grants went through us and Cleveland Neighborhood Progress. Those dollars were going to help them survive.
There was $1.7 million allocated through the Cuyahoga County CARES Act funding to 168 restaurants. We knew that we were all struggling. We knew that this was hard for everyone. But to hear them call us back and tell us how much this meant to them, that's what kept us going.
A lot of what COVID taught us, and maybe a little bit of the silver lining, is we are in this together.
We are more conscious and more inclusive and have a vision to build off of the lessons learned.
We've got restaurants reopening, we've got new restaurants opening. Downtown on the weekends is as busy as it's ever been.
The phones are ringing, the leads are coming through, meeting planners are ready to do business.
We have got this incredible set of major events coming up in the next several years, huge drivers.
WTA Tennis in the Land,
National Tour Association Travel Exchange,
The 2022 NBA All-Star Game,
The 2024 NCAA Women's Final Four,
The 2024 Pan American Masters Games,
the 2024 ASAE Annual Meeting,
2025 National Association of Black Journalists Convention and Career Fair.
We are still living in a global pandemic, but we're also seeing visitors start to come back. You know, we hosted the NFL Draft.
It's the second big event post-pandemic in the country. We pulled it off without a hitch.
That was the light at the end of the tunnel. That was to bring the fun back.
And it really was amazing to be down there and to be seeing that many people out for the first time again.
the stage we set during COVID, the NFL draft, what we already have on the books, and the attitude of our community, we are going to come out of this fast. There is this incredible determination to get back stronger than ever.
It has definitely made us stronger and support each other at an even greater level.
Everyone is doing their best. They are fighting to get back on top. They are fighting to open. The industry is undefeatable.
You know, it's not that COVID is over, but this industry is back open.
This global pandemic affected the entire world. It affected everyone's travel and tourism industry. We're just that much more determined to bring it back better.